Listen to me carefully. There are 5 things a woman can say that reveal exactly when it's time to walk away. Not to punish her, not to play games, but to protect your peace and your self-respect. Because once you understand the psychology behind her words, you'll never beg for love again. Most men ignore the signs because they're addicted to hope. They think if they just love harder, stay longer, or explain better, she'll finally see their worth. But the truth is, when a woman speaks certain words, she's already made her emotional exit. She may still be beside you physically, but mentally, she's gone. And staying only teaches her that your boundaries are negotiable. Let me tell you something most men never hear from women. Once a woman loses emotional respect for you, no amount of effort can bring attraction back. You can buy gifts, send messages, promise change, but she won't feel the same. Because attraction isn't built on effort, it's built on energy. And when your energy starts saying, "I need you more than I respect myself," she stops feeling safe in your presence. A woman's love thrives in admiration, not pity. She wants to feel inspired by your strength, not burdened by your fear of losing her. So when she says the wrong words, when her tone starts cutting into your confidence, you need to know what those words mean beneath the surface. Because women often communicate withdrawal indirectly. They don't always say, "I don't love you anymore." They say it in subtle ways that most men dismiss until it's too late. So if you've ever found yourself wondering why she changed, why her texts slowed down, why her laughter with you sounds different, stay right here. What I'm about to share with you might hurt, but it will also set you free. And that's what separates men she remembers from men she forgets. When a woman says, "You deserve someone better," she's not lifting you up. She's detaching from responsibility. It's her way of saying, "I've lost the desire to fight for this, but I still want to look like the good person when I walk away." Psychologically, she's rewriting the story to protect her self-image, not your heart. Now here's what most men do wrong. They start convincing her. "No, I don't want someone better. I want you. We can fix this. We're worth saving." But every word you speak after that only deepens the gap, because you're arguing with her emotional truth, not her logic. And emotional truths can't be debated. They can only be felt. Let me tell you something from a woman's perspective. When she's emotionally gone, she'll say anything that helps her detach without confrontation. That phrase, "You deserve better," isn't compassion. It's closure disguised as care. It's the final mask before silence. And I know, as a man, it hurts. You want to believe her heart still remembers you. You want to think that maybe if you just show her you're serious, she'll see the real you again. But love doesn't live in explanations. It lives in connection. And when that connection is gone, your words only echo through empty space. So if she ever says you deserve better, take her at her word. Don't argue. Don't chase. Don't try to make her feel guilty for letting go. Just nod, walk away, and let your silence remind her what real value sounds like. Because the man who respects himself enough to leave when love turns hollow becomes the man she thinks about when she's finally alone. Real love never demands proof. It reveals itself through freedom. The second someone starts using guilt to measure your devotion, you're no longer in a relationship. You're in emotional negotiation. And negotiation kills passion faster than betrayal. I've seen this dynamic play out countless times in my sessions. The man bends, apologizes, and compromises until there's nothing left of his individuality. He tells himself he's being patient, loyal, understanding. But really, he's shrinking to stay loved. And when a man shrinks, a woman loses respect every single time, because women are drawn to strength, not submission. Here's the psychological truth she'll never say out loud. She doesn't actually want you to give in to every demand. She wants to feel that your backbone is stronger than her moods, that your decisions come from values, not fear. When you hold your ground calmly, not cruelly, she may resist you in the moment, but deep down, she feels safer with you. "If you really loved me, you'd..." is emotional blackmail disguised as affection. It conditions you to equate love with obedience. But love that requires you to betray yourself isn't love, it's dependency. And the longer you stay in it, the more you'll lose touch with who you are. So when you hear that phrase, stop and breathe, you don't have to argue, you don't have to explain. Just recognize that anyone who asks you to prove your love by abandoning your self-respect isn't asking for love. They're asking for control, and the only right answer is distance. When a woman says, "You've changed," and it's laced with disappointment or distance, what she's really saying is, "You no longer make me feel the emotions I used to feel." Women are emotional historians. They don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. And if those feelings have faded, she'll start rewriting the story of your relationship in her mind. Suddenly, the man she once adored becomes the man she now critiques. Here's the cruel irony. Often, you didn't actually change. You just stopped performing. You stopped being the version of yourself that kept her comfortable. Maybe you started setting boundaries. Maybe you started focusing on your goals. Maybe you stopped chasing. But to her, that shift feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar often feels unsafe. So instead of saying, "I'm uncomfortable with your growth," she says, "You've changed." Psychologically, that's projection. What she really means is her feelings have changed and she doesn't know how to own that yet. But instead of exploring her emotions, she places the blame on you. It's easier to say you changed than to admit, "I don't feel what I used to." If you ever hear those words, don't go into defense mode. Don't explain or justify, just observe. Because sometimes "you've changed" is her way of telling you she's already halfway out the door. And sometimes it's the universe telling you, you finally evolved beyond the version of yourself that tolerated less than you deserved. Either way, when someone uses your growth as evidence against you, you don't need to fight for understanding. You just need to keep walking. Because the man who keeps evolving will always outgrow the woman who fears evolution. Let me break this down from a psychologist's lens. When a woman falls out of love, it rarely happens overnight. It's a slow erosion. Every time she felt unseen, every moment her needs were dismissed, every argument you avoided instead of addressing, it all stacked up. And when that emotional connection finally withers, she doesn't explode. She goes silent. Her affection turns into routine. Her touch feels rehearsed. And eventually, she says it. "I love you, but I'm not in love with you." Those words mean she still cares about your well-being, but she no longer feels desire. And here's where most men destroy their dignity. They start pleading, promising to change, offering grand gestures to win her back. But attraction isn't a light switch. Once the spark dies, no amount of effort can force it to reignite. Because love isn't maintained through persuasion, it's maintained through polarity. Through the dance between masculine grounding and feminine emotion. When that polarity dies, love becomes friendship, and friendship can't be forced back into passion. So if she ever says those words to you, don't beg for closeness, don't negotiate for affection. Accept it. Stand tall. Because the man who accepts truth with grace leaves a lasting imprint. He becomes the one she remembers not for his begging, but for his self-respect. And now I want you to ask yourself something. Really ask it, without pride or pain. If a woman said one of these 5 phrases to you today, would you have the strength to walk away? Leave your answer in the comments. I read them personally. And if this message opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for more real psychological truths from a woman's perspective, and share this with a friend who's stuck chasing love that's already left. Because sometimes the bravest thing a man can do is to stop fighting for someone who's already gone.